My name is Jasmine Carter. I'm 30 years old, and 3 weeks ago, I opened my front door to find a pregnant woman standing there asking for my boyfriend by name. That moment destroyed everything I thought I knew about my life. But what happened next? What I did in the 5 minutes after she told me the truth. That's what really ruined his life forever. Let me tell you how a woman paying her man's bills ended up being the biggest mistake he ever made. I met Marcus 2 years ago at a networking event in Chicago. He was charming, funny, had these big dreams about starting his own tech company. He told me he was between opportunities, but had this amazing business plan that just needed time to develop. I was working as a senior accountant at a consulting firm, pulling in good money, living in a nice one-bedroom apartment in the city. I had my life together. And honestly, I liked that he seemed to need me. Made me feel important, you know. We started dating, and within 3 months, he basically moved into my place. He'd sleep over most nights, keep his clothes in my closet, his toothbrush in my bathroom. But he kept his own apartment across town. Said he needed his own space to work on his business, to focus, to build his future. I respected that. I thought it showed ambition. 6 months into our relationship, Marcus came to me with this sad story. His landlord was raising the rent. He was short $800 that month because a client hadn't paid him yet. Could I help him out? Just this once. I wrote the check without hesitation. He was my boyfriend. We were building something together. Partners help each other, right? But just this once turned into every single month. For the past year and a half, I've been paying Marcus's rent. Every month, $1,200 straight from my account to his landlord. He'd promised to pay me back when his business took off, when the next client came through, when his big break happened. It never did, but I didn't mind. I did mind sometimes, especially when I was eating ramen for dinner while he talked about needing new equipment for his home office. But I loved him, and he always made me feel like I was investing in our future together. He'd say things like, "Baby, when I make it big, I'm gonna buy you everything. I'm gonna take care of you the way you've been taking care of me. You're my ride or die." I believed every word. Meanwhile, I was working 50-hour weeks, skipping girls' nights because I needed to save money, putting off buying new clothes because Marcus needed help with his phone bill, his car insurance, his student loans. My best friend Keisha kept warning me, "Girl, you're not his girlfriend. You're his bank account with benefits." I'd get defensive. "You don't understand. He's building something. It takes time. He loves me." She'd just shake her head. A man who loves you doesn't let you struggle while he chills. I should have listened to her. 3 months ago, I started noticing changes. Marcus was on his phone constantly, texting someone, and smiling in this way he never smiled at my texts. When I'd ask who it was, he'd say just business contacts or potential clients. He started coming over less, maybe 3 nights a week instead of 6. Said he was grinding at his place, really focused on work. I tried to be supportive. I'd send him encouraging texts, drop off food at his apartment, offer to help with anything he needed. But he always had an excuse for why I couldn't come up. The place was messy. He was in the middle of an important call. He was about to head out anyway. 2 months ago, I noticed he started dressing better. New cologne, fresh haircuts every week. When I asked about it, he said he had important meetings, needed to look professional. I paid for those haircuts, by the way, because he was cash poor but equity rich in his business that I'd never actually seen. 1 month ago, I did something I'm not proud of. I drove by his apartment at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday. His car was there, and I could see lights on in his window. I called him. He didn't answer. Texted me back 20 minutes later, saying he'd been in the shower. But I'd watched that window for those 20 minutes. Nobody's shadow crossed in front of it. He wasn't in the shower. He just didn't want to talk to me. That's when the doubts really started creeping in. But I pushed them down. I'd invested too much to walk away now. 2 years of my life. Thousands of dollars. My heart. I wasn't going to throw it all away over paranoia. Then came 3 weeks ago. The day that changed everything. It was a Saturday morning. I was at home, doing laundry, thinking about texting Marcus to see if he wanted to grab brunch. Before I could even pick up my phone, my doorbell rang. I wasn't expecting anyone. I opened the door in my pajamas, hair tied up in a messy bun. Standing there was a woman I'd never seen before. She was maybe 25, pretty, and very clearly pregnant. Like 6 or 7 months pregnant. "Can I help you?" I asked, confused. She looked at me with these tired eyes and said, "Are you Jasmine?" My stomach dropped. How did she know my name? "Yeah, that's me." "Who are you?" She took a deep breath. "My name is Alexis. I'm looking for Marcus Thompson. Does he live here?" I felt my whole body go cold. "Marcus? No, he doesn't live here. He's my boyfriend." "Why are you looking for him?" That's when I saw it. The way her face changed. The shock. The confusion. The anger. "Your boyfriend," she repeated slowly. "Marcus is your boyfriend?" "Yes. For 2 years. Why? How do you know him?" Alexis put her hand on her pregnant belly, and I swear time stopped. "Marcus is my boyfriend too," she said quietly. "And this is his baby." I couldn't breathe. The world was spinning. This had to be a mistake, some kind of sick joke, a misunderstanding. "That's impossible," I stammered. "We've been together for 2 years. He's at his apartment right now, probably." "There's no way." "His apartment?" Alexis interrupted. "You mean the one on Maple Street?" I nodded, feeling sick. "I live there," she said. "With him. For the past year and a half. That's our apartment." Everything clicked into place in the worst possible way. The apartment I'd been paying for wasn't his office or his space to work. It was the apartment he shared with her. With his other girlfriend. His pregnant girlfriend. I'd been paying for him to live with another woman. "I've been paying his rent," I whispered, more to myself than to her. "Every month. $1,200. For a year and a half." Alexis's eyes went wide. "You've been paying?" "He told me he works in tech sales. That he makes good money." We both just stared at each other, 2 women realizing we'd been played by the same man. "How far along are you?" I finally asked. "Almost 7 months. He proposed to me last month." She held up her left hand. There was a ring. Not expensive, but a ring. I'd been with him for 2 years and never even gotten a promise of a future. She got pregnant and got a ring. "Where is he right now?" I asked, my voice steady despite the rage building inside me. "He said he had a business trip this weekend. Left yesterday morning." "A business trip." He texted me yesterday saying the same thing. Told me he'd be out of town, needed to focus, would call me when he got back. But I'd bet anything he wasn't on a business trip. He was probably at some hotel, or maybe with a third woman for all I knew. I looked at Alexis, this pregnant woman on my doorstep who'd been just as fooled as I had been, and something inside me snapped. Not sadness, not heartbreak, pure cold rage. "Come inside," I said. "We need to talk." For the next hour, Alexis and I compared notes. Our stories were almost identical. He told her the same lies, made the same promises, played the same games. The only difference, I'd been funding his double life without even knowing it. "I can't believe I've been paying for you two to play house," I said, laughing bitterly. "I've been eating instant noodles so he could live comfortably with you." "I didn't know," Alexis said quietly, crying. I swear I had no idea. I believed her. We were both victims here. But Marcus was about to become a victim of something else entirely. "Do you still love him?" I asked her. She touched her belly. "I don't know. I'm having his baby. But if he's been lying like this..." "He has been," I confirmed. "The question is, what are we going to do about it?" Alexis looked at me, and I saw the same anger I felt reflected in her eyes. "I think it's time Marcus came home to a surprise," she said slowly. I smiled. "I think you're right. And I know exactly how to make it a surprise he'll never forget." We spent the next 2 hours planning. Alexis called Marcus and told him she needed him to come home immediately. Family emergency. He said he'd be back in 3 hours. Perfect. While we waited, I made some calls. First, I called Keisha. "I need you to come over. Bring your camera. I need you to document something." "Document what?" "Justice," I said. Keisha knew better than to ask questions. She showed up 30 minutes later with her good camera and her cousin Dre, who had a video camera for his YouTube channel. Next, I called my brother Jamal. Told him I needed him and his boys to help me move some stuff. He asked if everything was okay. I said it would be. Then I did something that felt so good I almost cried. I called Marcus's landlord, Mr. Peterson. "Mr. Peterson, this is Jasmine Carter. I've been paying rent for apartment 3B for the past year and a half. Yes, Miss Carter. Is there a problem? I'm canceling all future payments effective immediately, and I need you to give me access to the apartment. I have items there that belong to me. There was a pause. Miss Carter, I can't just. I've paid you over $20,000 for that apartment. I've never been late, never missed a payment. I'm asking for one favor. Let me get my things. He sighed. I'll meet you there in an hour. By the time Marcus's estimated arrival time came around, we were ready. Alexis and I were sitting in his apartment. My brother and his friends had helped me clear out everything of value. His TV, his gaming system, his laptop, his clothes, his furniture. Everything I'd helped him buy over the past 2 years with my hard-earned money. All of it was loaded into a U-Haul parked outside. The apartment was completely empty except for Alexis sitting on the floor, me standing by the window, and Keisha with her camera ready. We heard his footsteps on the stairs, his key in the lock. The door opened. Marcus walked in looking at his phone, not even glancing up at first. Babe, I'm back. What was the emergency? He looked up, saw the empty apartment, saw Alexis on the floor, saw me by the window, saw Keisha with the camera. His face went from confusion to shock to pure terror in about 3 seconds. Jasmine? What are you doing here? And why is everything gone? I finished for him. Everything's gone because I took it back. Every single thing I paid for. Which, as it turns out, is everything you own. He looked at Alexis. Baby, I can explain. Don't call me that, Alexis said coldly. And don't explain. We already know everything. I stepped forward. 2 years, Marcus. 2 years of my life. Over $20,000 of my money. And for what? So you could play house with her while telling me you loved me. It's not like that. Then what's it like? I demanded. Tell me. Explain how you got another woman pregnant while I was paying your rent. Explain how you proposed to her while you were telling me we had a future. Explain it. He couldn't. He just stood there, mouth opening and closing like a fish. Here's what's going to happen, I said calmly. I've taken everything I paid for. I've canceled all the rent payments. I've blocked your number. And tomorrow I'm going to file a small claims lawsuit to get back every dollar you owe me. You can't. I can, I interrupted. I kept every receipt, every bank transfer, every text where you promised to pay me back. My aunt's a lawyer. She says I have a solid case. Alexis stood up slowly. And I'm moving out. Today. My sister's picking me up in an hour. You can figure out how to pay for this place on your own now. Marcus looked like he was going to pass out. Where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? I walked past him toward the door. I don't know, Marcus. Maybe get a real job instead of scamming women who actually cared about you. Keisha was still filming. This is going to get so many views, she muttered. As I reached the door, I turned back one last time. Oh, and Marcus? That business trip excuse, don't use it on the next girl. It's getting old. That was 3 weeks ago. Marcus called 7 times that first night. I know because I watched the calls come through on my blocked list. He texted from different numbers, left voicemails begging me to talk to him. I never responded. Alexis moved in with her sister and filed for child support. She deserves every penny. I got a lawyer and filed my lawsuit. We go to court next month, and my lawyer says I'll likely win most of it back. My brother helped me sell all of Marcus's stuff. Made about $3,000. It's a start. Keisha's video of the confrontation went semi-viral on TikTok. Last I checked, it had 2 million views. The comments were all supporting us and roasting Marcus. And me. I'm healing. I'm angry, I'm hurt. I'm embarrassed that I let this happen for so long. But I'm also free. Free from a man who saw me as an ATM instead of a partner. Free from making excuses for someone who didn't deserve my loyalty. Free from a relationship that was draining me dry in every way possible. I'm 30 years old. I have a good job, good friends, a family that has my back. And now I have all my money going back into my own life instead of someone else's lies. The door surprise didn't just ruin Marcus's life. It saved mine. And honestly, that empty apartment, his shocked face, the moment he realized he'd lost everything, that was worth every penny I'm never getting back. Because the most expensive thing Marcus took from me wasn't my money. It was my time. And I'm never letting anyone waste that again.